All right. Well, welcome to our monthly office hours, coach office hours. Well, Kendra is off today with the very important appointment. And so it's me and Scott filling in. So two of us, you get the benefit, two for one. Um, you know, Welcome. This is the monthly call where we invite everybody. Honestly, all the coaches come in and, ask questions, share their concerns, share their wins. That's important. We discuss so often that the coaching journey can feel very lonely. So I think this is the place where you can come in for anything, share your wins, share your struggles, ask questions, just be part of like-minded people who understands you and people who can support you, because I think coaches are really good at that. So, if you're looking for any forum for that, this is one of the way to do that. Well, we're using our acronym CAMP just to structure our calls. I think it's really helpful. So first, we're starting with the C, the craft of coaching. So, I'm going to open it up to anyone who wants to share a story, a struggle, a win in the craft of coaching. Like recently, what's something that struck you, something that kind of recalled or comes to your mind that you want to share with us?
Give Chris and Roger a chance to think.
Come on, Scott, you need to lead the way.
I want Chris and Roger to give them a chance first. Chris, Roger, you got anything?
I gotta be honest with you. This month since the last meeting, I haven't done a whole lot, and I think that's well, that's not true. I've worked really hard, but I haven't done much coaching. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So
Okay.
not much pure coaching for sure.
Okay, sure. Well, then we'll get back on the other aspects of our coaching practice. Chris and Scott, I'm sure you guys done some coaching. What's something that you want to share with us? Something unusual, something that, I don't know.
Oh, Chris, you unmuted.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's nothing comes to mind if I think of individual coaching sessions. It's a weird time of year for my type of health coaching and so forth. People have got other distractions and other things they want to focus on and spend their money on and so forth. So this time of year, I always find I don't pick up any new clients over the summer.
Yeah.
People are either have already feel they've achieved what they wanted before summer, or they're in the summer and go, I'll wait till after my summer break. Or
do you have any current clients that you continue to work with over the summer? How do you help keep them engaged whenever they're distracted? Because I mean, they've got distractions too, right?
Yeah, that's different because I've got a relationship with them, so they, it's just a continuation of that. But with new clients, that's the biggest challenge of this time of year for me, is finding those clients. Well, I kind of not give up, but I kind of think if someone comes along, great. But I won't be surprised if I won't get a new client till September.
But do any of the current clients that you have distractions that are going on in the summer?
Yeah, the usual holidays and events and so forth. So it can be just end up being maintenance. I usually find the best time for health coaching is between end of August till Christmas.
Right.
But most people don't have things booked or plans to go away or things like that. And it's kind of a dead time in the sense that they can focus on Project Me.
Yeah, but I'm trying to right now, because we're talking craft of coaching. We'll get to marketing in a minute, because that's the new client part. With the clients that you have now, when they get distracted or get interrupted, you said it's best to keep them in maintenance mode, but most people don't feel, quote, happy, when they're in maintenance mode. So how do you keep them engaged?
Well, it's not that I'd say to them that's maintenance mode. It's a case of they feel like their time is, they're being distracted with other things, so therefore they feel they're going to slip backwards. And it's a case of trying to maintain whatever they can or sustain whatever they can do until that time passes. So it's again, I suppose what I'm doing is, because you asked the question, I'm trying to answer it and trying to not manufacture an answer.
Do you do anything different?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. It is a case of meeting them where they are currently. You know, I've got one example, got a client who's got a wedding in 4 weeks' time. So she's around more often than anyone else for some reason.
Wait, she wants to look good for the wedding.
So that, you know, things like that, I suppose, individual events or milestones coming up for people. But usually it's a kind of case of just making sure they stick to the fundamentals, do as much as they can, and not make them try to help them not feel that they're slipping backwards because things have got busy or kids are now off school and stuff like that. So it's kind of keeping them there until we get to September and go from there. And then usually my clients in the States get to about mid-November and then get distracted by
get crazy because of the holidays.
Yeah, we're a little bit different. We wait till mid-December in the UK. So yeah, different clients around the world have different times and of the year that they're busier than normal. So the coaching can be very much, as I said, more maintenance to help them get through that, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, come out the other side.
So you kind of know the pacing of your clients naturally. What you in other words, you come into the summer knowing that they're probably going to get distracted. Do you do anything to lay the groundwork, or do you just kind of play business as usual? Or
business as usual, because as I say, every client is got a different requirement in different parts of the world. So you know, it also depends on the weather to some degree. If the weather's we're not having a great summer, then people are a lot less distracted. When it's a nice hot summer, which we're having, it's a bit like, well, I was going to go and train, but we decided to go out to friends for a barbecue and stuff like that. So, you know, it's not like they're deliberately trying to, you know, not do anything. It's just things come along that you take the opportunity when it's there more than I'm planning to take my foot off the gas for 6 weeks over summer. You know what I mean? And usually you get people going on holiday, so the run up to their holiday can be quite focused. It's when they come back from their holiday, trying to get them back into focus. So
and I want to jump in. And, you know, because it is a holiday season. And let's talk about it for a while. And both from the craft of coaching perspective.
Just on that, only in the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, because that's important. So it's
That's
summer down
important.
here, northern. And
Actually,
I have Southern Hemisphere clients as well. So that at this time, that's very different. To them, it's
yeah,
their winter.
I got
winter.
That.
It's winter now in Australia. Yes.
Yeah, and I got a reply to one of our coaching email that we send out when I think it was like hot summer, you know, cold clients, hot summer, something like that. And I got a message from our very much loved and respected Aussie coach who said, not in our place. So yeah, let's appreciate it. In Northern and I don't know. I live very close to equator, but still have.
What matters is there's rhythms to people's lives, regardless of where they live.
Exactly.
That's what we can extract.
Yeah, let's apply this to the rhythm, and when you know, depending where you are and where your clients are, because you know both matter, because you might live in the southern part of the world and then your clients in the northern, so you have to take into account both. But what I wanted to say, let's talk about vacation from both sides, because our next letter is awareness of stress management, and what we talk about is the, you know, us as coaches taking care of ourselves. And for us living in the summer these days, it's time to take vacations. Well, so let's let's hear, because I think it's important. And I'm speaking the one who, like, this week I took 2 days of weekend, first time in many months. And I'm looking for a longer vacation, but it seems difficult. So it might seem difficult when you have clients, when you have other job commitments and other commitments. So how do we manage that? How do we communicate it? How do we manage that? Let's look from both sides of this coin. So vacations definitely coming up for everybody, for us as coaches and for our clients. What are some of the strategies that you guys use that can be helpful in managing this effectively? Roger, you wanted to mention something. Yeah,
I did. Yeah, I think. I mean, so I've only been attending these meetings for a few months now, but just looking at the attendee list today, I think we're already kind of in this. That's validating us that this is happening as well, right? That a lot of us have taken some time off. So, like I said at the beginning, I'm not actively coaching anybody at this exact second. So, but I have had these things come up over the years, and in the classroom as well, in my professional teaching life. So I've always been honest that life is still happening for me as a coach, just like it is for the student or the person that I'm coaching. So I'm just very blunt about it and very upfront, and try and get out ahead of that. And if I know I'm going to have time, I usually schedule time in advance, well enough in advance that I can share that information with anybody. So if I'm going through a health issue, if I'm going through something mental in my life, or some kind of stress or vacation, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you about it, not try and cloak it or hide it, because I feel everybody is going through something, and it's important, I think, for everybody to know that. So I'm very open and honest about it. And sometimes it becomes a topic of conversation, right? A little icebreaker, a little personalization. It's like, oh, what did you do over your summer break, kind of thing. And I want to hear from my students and from my coaching clients too. So just to kind of put a human touch on it. We're not automatons, right? That we're not the AI agents out there that don't have those kinds of experience. Let's share it. Let's connect.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's very much what you say is in line or in vibe with what we discussed in our last podcast episode that we recorded last Friday and we pushed out. And that's where we discussed coaching through chaos. And a lot of this was about this, us coaches sharing if we are going through chaos because of the health issues or something in family or the war going on in our country. Some of us experienced that. We shared, and it's very much in line what you just said. It's just showing our human part that can actually build a better connection with our clients, because we are not AI, and that's part of it, showing that we're also humans and sharing how we deal with those situations, what we do, the fun things. It doesn't have to be hard. It actually can be fun, and sharing fun could be actually, fun. Go ahead,
I think
Chris.
you got to take into account the type of coaching you provide and the people you're coaching. So I have 2 face-to-face and I have online. So my face-to-face clients know exactly when I'm away, because I'm not there, physically not there. But my online clients, they have no idea where I am in the world. So I can do that anywhere. The only challenge is when the time zone changes. So either I get up earlier or I do it later in the day, or I let them know that I'm going to be in a different time zone. And therefore it might be a delay or a little bit later in the day or early in the day when I contact them. But other than that, it all depends on a client as well. When they go on holiday, I will say to them, how much contact do you want with me while you're away? And they go, yeah, keep it daily. I go, okay, keep it daily, and nothing really changes. Or they can say, well, actually, can we just leave until I get back? And I go, fine, we'll leave it till you get back. So it depends on the client, how you're coaching them, what platform you're using or method, delivery that you're doing the coaching. With my online clients, most of the time they don't know. I've gone abroad and I've created a business and a life where I don't mind working when I'm on holiday, because that is just because I can go away more often. I work for myself. I don't have to wait to a certain time of the year to travel. So ideally, I want to open my laptop anywhere in the world and just coach, regardless of where. I have clients in Singapore and Australia, so I've gone that way in the time zone thing. They're quite happy because they get messages at their time of the day and not, my time of the day. So yeah, it all depends on the person, where they are, how you're coaching them, how you're delivering the coaching. Can work.
A lot of
it's
it.
a benefit. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Lydia.
Yeah, I was just going to say that this is one of the benefit of online / asynchronous coaching, that you can travel, you can do whatever you want, and the only thing that is need to be there is internet. So it's very flexible, it's very available. The only thing that I would say, and that's what I experience, again, depending on how many other things you do and how much other stuff and pressure there, that maybe sometimes you want to switch off completely. That's how I feel. Like, it's been too long for me personally without unplugging, and I just feel like I need time where I completely unplug. And I think it's fine. That's what I want to say, right? For a coach, it's completely okay to say, look, it's just letting people know, look, I'm not going to be available. And then, do you need 2 days? Do you need 2 weeks? Do you need 2 months? It's up to you. And again, I just want to normalize that it's totally okay. It's just, tell people in advance, be open about it, be upfront, and find the way how they like. We talked about on our podcast, like Kendra, through the hurricane, she told her clients she's not going to be able to coach them. And they say, fine, we'll wait for you. We don't want to cancel. We're totally okay. We're going to wait whenever you're ready to come back. So yeah, I feel, and I'm speaking more kind of to myself, that it's fine. You don't need to feel the pressure to be always there, 24/7 for your clients. You need to be first there for yourself, on focusing on letter A, awareness of stress management, because if you're not, then at some point you're going to be burned out. You're going to be completely not able to help anybody, not yourself, not anybody else.
Well, that comes back to each client. So I've got some clients, if I say to them, look, I'm going to be away for a week, I'm not going to be around messaging, because they're long-term clients, I go, yeah, fine, look, have your week off. Don't think about work, just have a week off. Where I have other clients who might be struggling at the moment, and I won't even say that I'm going away, because I want to make sure that they still get the support and help through this period. Because what happens is, I go, like, I'm away on holiday, I won't messaging for a week. You might find at the end of the week that they've moved on, because that they see that as an opportunity to go, what, okay, time for change and things like that. So from a business point of view, sometimes it's not do the full workload while you're away, but if you can still manage certain clients who need that help, and you kind of get a feeling, if you have a break from it, you probably won't see them again. It might be, from a business point of view, helpful just to stay in touch with them while you're away. So, keep them in the loop.
I think what we're saying here, though, and to extract it kind of bigger, is it's a combination of two things: awareness and communication. Awareness is both self-awareness. Lydia knows, I need to unplug completely for a week. I'm going to do that. That's my choice. Yes, it might have a business impact. Yes, it might affect, but I'm choosing to do that because I need it for me. Chris, you're talking about awareness of the client's needs, which is also important, and sometimes you can serve both, and sometimes you can only serve one or the other. That's okay. because we're human and so are they. And then the other is then communication, which, Roger talked about and both Lydia and Chris talked about, which is both communication in terms of clarity. Yes, I'm going to be away or I'm not going to be away, but also just in terms of choosing what it is that we communicate and what we don't. I mean, there are clients, not our friends. So there is some information that we may choose to hold back because they don't need to know that. And then there's other information that it's relevant to share, or so it's less about what we share and more about, again, even with sharing with our clients, what's the purpose behind it? What are we teaching? What are we engaging with? What are we, so Chris, you might sometimes want to share with them that you're going to, hey, I'm going away and this is what I'm doing to maintain, my own health. This is an example of what you can do when you're on vacation. Other times you choose not to share that because it's not going to be helpful to that client, or it may not be relevant to them or whatever. It's recognizing that we have to be aware first, and that's self-aware as well as client awareness. Who's our client? What helps them? Where are they at in the world? What's their rhythm? And self-awareness. What's our rhythm? What do we need? Where are we at in the world? And then communication. What do we choose to communicate and facilitate that client growth? And if you keep those frames, then you're kind of picking and choosing more deliberately. You're not just, because we talked about that before. Sometimes if we get into too friendly of a mode sometimes with our clients, that can be a problem too. And if we and yet at the same time, if we're an automaton and not sharing and not being human, that's a problem too. Or it can be, depending on the client, the situation. I had a client today that his wife just passed away. He sent me an email this morning. It would be if I reacted with, no problem, just reschedule when you want to. No, that's, because his wife just passed away I need to be human in that situation and go, I am so sorry. And, what can I do to help? What can I do to support you in this? So it is awareness and communication, I think, that ends up being important.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we talk about it a lot here, that this is the space where there is no, one fit all solution. So, although again, I'm gonna kind of stress out the importance of us as coaches, as we're on the letter A, to focus on ourselves and our well-being and our stress management and our awareness of where we are. And if we do need to take a break, I think, I really love the Profit First book, but I think it really very much applies to, your mental health, your, your well-being first, in terms of, because if you're not okay, I don't think you can actually effectively help your clients. So, checking in with you, if you're able, like Chris said, if you're able to continue during your holidays, during your weekends or whatever, support those clients who need it, perfect, do this. But if you do need to unplug, you always have choice, Chris. You can, if these clients need ongoing support, you can refer to another coach. We have a bunch of great coaches at Coachdotme, correct? Even here, in the wider network, we know them. If you guys, and I'm speaking because I know this is recorded, if you guys like, okay, I need to go away like for a longer period, like 2 weeks, month, and I want this client to succeed, I want to hand over to a good coach, like come back to us, to Coachdotme team, and ask who can we recommend as a substitute coach, or someone you can hand over, because I think that's important. And me being very bad at this, but I think that's important. All right, moving on. Marketing focus. I don't know. Let's bring this up. But why don't we follow the theme? Like it's summer. Again, Excuse, excuses to our folks in Australia. I know I'm starting to feel bad about saying it's summer, but for majority of us here on this call, it is summer, and you know, a lot of people preach like slow down during summer, have some rest, you know, have fun, which I think is good, but there is an alternative. And again, it depends where you are in terms of your career, in terms of your, again, energy, in terms of your business stage. Summer could be a good time to tighten things up, you know, to tighten your profile. Roger, I'm looking at you because you promised last week to work on your profile, and I remember that. So, and I just open it up to folks, you know, yeah, we do want to relax, and it is important to have time to relax, but it might be also time when things slow, when business is slow, when clients are relaxing and there is less clients coming in, like Chris said, well, maybe you can then use this time to strengthen your marketing, you know, assets, if I can call it that way, your website, your profile, your lead magnet, your welcome sequence, your LinkedIn profile. I mean, there are a bunch of things, and they all need maintenance. You know, they all need refreshment once in a while, you know, like anything, like your car, you bring it to refreshments once in a while. I don't know. This is the theme I want to throw in. If there's any other marketing topic you want to guys discuss, throw them in.
I suppose what I do during the summer is I know September is going to be busier, so I get things in place for September. So I've got so many weeks to put promotions together, get my website up to speed and stuff like that. So it's using that time where it can be very easy just to think, oh, I'll put it off. It's summer, I go and sit outside for a bit. Or you just think, okay, I've got so many weeks to get this all up and running. So it just runs smoothly and you hit the ground running come September or whenever in the year that you know it's going to be busier. So
yeah, absolutely. Look, guys, coaching is a very seasonal business. We've seen it so many years, year after year. Autumn, September, October is peak, and then January, obviously, beginning of January is another peak. So yeah, I totally agree, Chris. So and I
just
think
on that, Lydia, about the peak at New Year's, I find it really interesting that maybe it's different in other coaching areas, but in health and fitness, in the Northern Hemisphere, because it's the middle of winter and it's January, people go, you know what? I'm going to just get to the gym, or I'm going to change the weight, or I'll go alcohol free for January and all these things. And you think it's an easier time of year to do it because it's winter, days are short, but it's cold, miserable. But I always think in the Southern Hemisphere, going back to Southern Hemisphere, that's the middle of their summer. And it's like saying to people in the Northern Hemisphere, come August, I want you to go alcohol free. I want you to get to the gym 4 times a week. I want you to cut back on what you're eating, get to bed on time and things like that. That's really hard to sell in August in the Northern Hemisphere because it's summertime. Where in the winter, in January, which is our equivalent of the Southern Hemisphere's August, that's a lot harder. So I always think of people in the Southern Hemisphere.
What's the point?
The point is, depending again on who you're marketing to, where you're marketing to, it's a lot easier for people in the Northern Hemisphere to, at the beginning of January, for example, in health and fitness, I don't know about other coaching areas, but than it is if I started promoting that to people in the Southern Hemisphere in the middle of their summer. You're going to get a different response, a different
100%. Now, I tell
That's
you,
my point, Lydia.
no, absolutely, absolutely, no, absolutely. I just wanted to
Yeah.
clarify. It wasn't
No, that's right. That's
attacking
right.
you.
I usually
you
get
know.
to the point. I get to the point eventually in a roundabout way.
I wasn't attacking you, Chris. Um, so I think you're totally right. Knowing your client and where they are is key to your marketing message and your marketing campaign. So if you're running ads, that's really easy because then, you can actually run ads to a certain location, right? And you can run different ads to different audiences in different location with a different message. But I tell you what, in Coachdotme, what we see, and again, maybe because the vast majority of people in Northern Hemisphere, that's what we see across the board, across the habits. Okay, we see the surge. September comes and January comes, and it's not just because of the winter. It's because of the new year, the freshness effect, the new year goals and stuff like that. January is a big one, and then it just dies. I mean, not dies, but it just goes really steeply down, right? And then September is another one. People, relax on vacation, then they get back home like, oh my God, I need to do something. It's just 3 months until the end of the year. I need to achieve those goals I said at the beginning. So we just see it, okay? There is evidence, numbers that prove that this happens. Now, if you want to segment who is your audience, where they are, and how they behave, there might be more nuanced way, and you can do it with different tools.
I just buck the trend on that because, and I'm not saying my experience is the norm because, as you say, the data shows this is not the case. But for the last 25 years, people have always said to me at the beginning of the year, January, oh, you must be really busy this time of year. And I go, no busier than any other time in the year. Actually, I get busy end of February, March, going into April. That's my busiest time for picking up new clients.
Get slim for the summer?
No, it's what I found is in talking to people who've sought me out is they've tried it on their own at the beginning of the year, got to about February and gone, this isn't working. Yep. I better go and get some help.
That's an amazing ad, Chris. Yeah. This is an amazing ad you need to run.
Yeah, but that's always been for the last 25 years. That's the trend. And then come September again, it picks up with new clients and so forth. So what I find is if I can get my new clients in and settled before summer starts, then summer is kind of dead for new clients. And then come September, it's another cohort comes in. But I've never, ever found January as a time to pick up new clients, which backs the trend of all the data. I get it. But it's just my experience on that. So it's quite interesting.
But I think it's important to realize that, which is that you are paying attention to your rhythm and the data for you, and realize just because there's a general trend across, 100,000 coaches does not mean that that's going to be exactly your situation. Because I honestly see sometimes where people create a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what I mean by that is they decide a certain time of the year is slow, so they don't get out there and do anything. And then that time of the year is slow and they go, see, and it's like, well, wait a minute, you created that. As an example, Chris, to your point, my personal timing is December is actually a really good month for me. And people are like, why? Well, because money and time are things that people pay attention to in December. And so they often won't get started coaching until January or February, but we start the conversation in December, because that's when it's on their mind. For you, when you're talking about people that aren't sticking to it, when is that on their mind? Well, about February 14th, because go to any gym in January and you can't get a machine. Go to any gym in March, no problem. It's like, so so there's individual timing. And again, like you said, it also depends on your client. What kind of client are you attracting? And what kind of client are you going after? So I think it's important as coaches to be aware of all of that. Okay, these are general trends, but now how do I fit into that? How does my avatar fit into that? And what do I need to keep or modify or whatnot? because like I've had tons of coaches tell me, oh, don't bother doing anything in December. You'll never even get a conversation. It's like, I get tons of conversations in December, you know. And some of that may be because I'm the only one out there talking.
I just want to say this because, you know, Chris, what you noticed could be like a really cool window of opportunity where, you know, coaches thinking, okay, you know, the wave is gone, you know, I'm going to be kind of doing something else, whatever they're doing. And you can come in with this unique angle through the ad or through the content or through, you know, whatever you use to promote your business, saying you tried it, you failed. Well,
yeah,
you still have time until summer. So it may be like a sweet spot between the January and the summer where you can tell people they can still do this, and then telling them like unique message and catch them where others won't even think it's possible.
I think going on what Scott said about knowing your own rhythm and where you fit into it, is because my coaching resounds with people differently, because at the beginning of the year, you get a lot of people being sold quick fixes because the iron's hot, people thinking about change. So people jump in and go, try this 6-week program, blah, 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 blah. But my approach has always been long-term. So I only attract people who are thinking long-term, not short-term. And it's the ones come February who are thinking long-term, saying, I'm not giving up. I know this is going to take a while and it's a long-term project. That's where I resound, you know, my message kind of speaks to them, where if I go in with a quick fix approach, then I'm more attractive to the people at the beginning of January than in February or March and so forth. And I also find, Scott will know this, the work he does on money and time is people don't really have money until the end of January anyway, because they spent it all in December and they don't get paid till the end of January. So after what is it? Black Monday? They call it Black Monday?
Yeah, that's why Scott is right to capture them in December, get their money, huh, Scott? You're very smart.
Again, usually they don't start until later, but they which means a lot of times they don't pay me till later either. So it's not even about money. It's just about when it's an awareness thing. Because again, my clientele, I don't want the person that's basically completely broke and all of that. A lot of my clients are making 6 figures or more. You know, they're not quote unquote the typical, you know, broke brother-in-law kind of thing. But it's what they're thinking about is, you know, alignment and legacy and family and those things. And that's what connects to them in December. And they're realizing that, man, we've been living out of alignment for a long time. And yeah, sometimes it is, you know, we had to put Christmas on a credit card for the 5th year in a row. You know, this sucks. I don't want to keep doing this, but so it's not that they don't have debt or don't have other things, but it's the way they're thinking about it. There's a difference between a broke mindset and a poor mindset, you know, or I want to change this. Like Chris said, I'm looking for a quick fix or I'm looking for a real change, you know? And so a lot of it is how you're advertising and who your audience is and what are you trying. And again, there's nothing wrong with those other groups. That's just not who I attract and who I want to work with. So yeah, it's a both and you got to do all of it.
Absolutely. And kind of finishing with the marketing discussion, I want to say, so I really like, you know, what Chris said and you, Scott, said that, you know, you need to know who your client is, right? And I think, you know, we cannot rely on just 1 month or 2 months in the year, right? So we need to be attracting clients throughout the whole year. So if we know our clients and their behavior and their thinking, I think it's just maybe the kind of the bottom line of this discussion is we need to know the message, the different message we're going to send them during the year. So, you know, if we're talking to them in March, April, like Chris said, it's going to be one message. They tried it themselves, it didn't work. They still want it to happen. Well, here's me. And then, you know, whatever the message for the summer, whatever the message for the autumn, but it might be the different message, understanding that we go in we're going through certain cycles. Go ahead, Roger.
So you called it out. You called me out.
I did.
Thank you for that at the beginning. You said we're going to update my profile. I have gone through my profile. We actually had a group. There was more than just me that said we were going to do this at the end of the last meeting, which is create a
There was
video
Miriam.
for our profile.
Miriam, yeah.
Yeah.
She's not here.
So I know. So I have done, well, it's not like I haven't spent time thinking about it. I actually woke up in the middle of the night and started drafting in my head, started drafting the script for what I want my video to say. But then I got into the profile, and maybe this is a good bridge between platform. I don't know exactly how to do my video or put it in. I haven't created the video, so it's not like urgent. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm missing out. But how do I get it into my profile? I looked at my profile just a second ago, and I don't know where it's at.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for asking this question. I think everybody will benefit from it. And I know you sent it to me before and I didn't reply. So
okay,
my bad.
It's all right. Everybody's busy.
Let's go to my profile. I'm a coach, Coachdotme. I do need to update my profile as well. So maybe I'll take it as a challenge for next college. So you cannot put video on your profile per se, right? So what you can do, you can add all the social media links. You can put the background image. You can put your avatar, which I need to change. But then what you can do, Roger, and everybody else, is in your coaching packages, right? And I'm not doing the on priority right now, but what I'm doing is one conversation a day. Okay, this is my basic package that I want folks to join. And what we have there, and it applies to every package. You have video intro, right? So whether you have one package or multiple packages, each package has ability to have your intro. And I think I have one example. Let me see. I know Wildo, our great Wildo, hopefully he still has it. There you go. He's one of the few coaches who took the opportunity, and for his Save Money and Mindful Spending package, he has this, profile picture, background picture, the description, the whole 9 yards. And then in the package, which is for him, Save Money and Mindful Spending, your finance coach colleague, Scott, he has the video intro. What you do, Roger, you record it, you upload it to YouTube, and then you just put a link here where I just showed you, video intro. And it's available on every package, whether individual package, group package, it doesn't matter. Each package has this field. So then, like this, I can play. You probably won't hear the sound, but that's okay. He introduces himself. He introduces his method. You can go all the way. And I think it's great because let me tell you again and again, and I say it to every coach. I have the onboarding conversation. I do have those often. Probably 5% of coaches on Coachdotme have video intro on their packages.
Do you have stats on success rate of the 5%? Do they get more clients as a result of the video, or is it just an added benefit?
No, I don't have
anecdotally.
No.
Okay.
No,
all right.
I need to work on the stats. I do, but for me,
that video,
it's the feature. Yeah,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Without knowing the stats of the people more successful or not, if you're the product ultimately, you as a person, then you either put your name in the shop window or you put a picture of yourself in the shop window. The picture is always going to attract more people than just your name. And that's someone who hasn't done a video for their profile, by the way.
So you confirming what I'm saying?
Yes. Without worrying about what the stats say, it's just going to be better if people can relate to you because they see you, who you are, and so forth, than just a name of someone from there.
Okay. Scott, Chris, you don't have videos for your profile.
No. No,
Scott?
I
No,
don't
me
practice
neither.
what I preach.
There you go. Well, I'm going to take a challenge because I still need to update my profile. I changed my picture with AI, by the way. On my all other social media, I need to update it with Coachdotme.
But how do you do that with AI? How do you update your profile picture with AI?
I use this service, and actually,
Will it take away the bags under my eyes?
It will.
It will.
Look at my picture. It's
You always look good there,
amazing.
Lydia.
Oh yeah, right. I know
Chris,
you like me.
you tell it to make you look 25 and like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Today.
What do you mean I don't look like Brad Pitt or anything?
No, you do.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Wow. Well, Brad Pitt wants to look like me. I get mistaken for George Clooney more than Brad, to be honest. That's usually what happens.
Okay.
That's usually what happens.
I was in a call today that I thought was a pre-interview that turned into a sales call, but it started like I look 26. I'm like, sure.
Well, they've learned that the first step of sales is to butter someone up.
Yeah,
no, you do look 26.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Jesus.
Anyway, Aragon AI, it's paid service. What I did, okay, it's a little bit of marketing segment going back, but I think it relates to the platform. Honestly, I wasn't ready for a professional photo shoot. So what I did, I uploaded six to eight selfies, recent selfies, very casual, like this, t-shirt, not a lot of makeup, no makeup. Very casual, like you can do right now, any clothes, okay? This is not the clothes, and then it created 100 professionally looking, let's look at favorite. There are some of them that look weird, but majority of them, they look great, and the clothes, if you can pay a little bit and you can change the clothes, you can change the posture, you can change the background. I think they're great. So that's how I created the updated picture. Actually, like this one. This one I used to update my LinkedIn, and I'm gonna use it everywhere because I think it's pretty natural. It looks like me. It kind of, it's a little bit AI-ish. Maybe.
But you don't know unless you know what the person looks like. You have no
Exactly.
idea. That's the thing with today's technology.
So I use this one. I think it's pretty me. What do you think?
Yeah.
4.5 out of 5, I'd say, right?
Yeah. Again, if you didn't know what you look like, you wouldn't think that doesn't look like you.
Yeah, it's a little bit kind of I don't know how you say it, but it can be photoshopped to this as well. So you wouldn't say it's AI.
Also keep in mind that especially like if you're using it for a profile picture or for
it's small.
It's small, and even if it's going to be on something like a YouTube thumbnail or something that's a little bigger, we usually don't put the face across the whole thing. It's like in a little circle in the corner, and it's going to be downsampled anyway, meaning it's going to be degraded a little bit anyway.
There you go.
Quite frankly, you on Zoom don't look exactly the way you look in real life either. People, the Zoom effect, people meet you in real life and are like, it's always you're either taller or you're shorter or you don't look, there's always a comment about you don't look exactly the way you look on Zoom.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying, it took me about
but it was quick and it was easy and it was relatively
20
cheap.
minutes, $30, and I didn't have to make makeup, the hair done, the photo shoot, the photo processing. So instead of 3 weeks and $300 at least, I got an updated photo, professional looking photo for my profile, Coachdotme profile, LinkedIn. And what I recommend always, if you update a photo, update it everywhere. So everywhere it's the same. Because I think, it really creates this sense like, oh, this is the person. I see them on Instagram, I see them on LinkedIn, I see them on Coachdotme. They send the newsletter, like everywhere is the same profile. So if you decide to update, again, back to the marketing thing, update it everywhere. So, all right. Yeah, I love it. I think it's the best $30 investment, again, versus much more if you want to do the professional photo shoot. especially a woman who needs to do the hair and the makeup and the whole 9 yards. All right. So, let's take, I'm gonna be the first one. I need to update the Coachdotme profile, and put the video to the goddamn package. Roger, I'm committing to help you out on this. So let's do this. Anybody else? Scott, Chris, will you be committing to record a video, YouTube video to put on your profile?
Yeah, I'm going to a villa in Portugal next week, so I'll do one around the villa.
Where?
It's just southeast of Porto. See ya.
Say hello to Porto. I lived 5 years in Porto.
Okay.
So
yeah, so I might do some videos around a pool and a nice
Vinho Verde.
mountainous.
You need to drink a lot of Vinho Verde for me.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll get that done. So I won't be on the call next week, but I'll get it done.
You'll have beautiful background. You can videotape yourself in a very nice background. Perfect. Scott, you're gonna do the video for one of your packages?
Not this week. I've got too much else that I've committed to.
Not this week. It's for the next month.
I will get it done, but I don't know if I'll get it done by the next coaching call or not. I will commit to doing
the coaching
video.
call is next month.
I know. I also know what's already on my list. Again, we're back to awareness of what we're going to prioritize and not prioritize.
It's 3 minutes. We can do this. All right. Well, whether we do it or not.
I'll get Scott to commit to 1,000 push-ups for the next call. How's that?
Oh.
I do push-ups every day, and I do setups every day, and I walk every day, but I don't run every day anymore. I used to run every day, but I don't anymore.
I can do squats. I cannot do push-ups at all.
Yeah, I do. I don't do a ton of exercise, but I do a little bit every day because I want to keep my heart beating.
Yeah,
that's important. All right.
Probably not enough, but I do some.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. It's been fun. And, guys, watching this, these are fun. Hopefully, I know August is going to be tough. But, come September, we're waiting for you. Okay? Thanks, everyone. Have fun.
Bye-bye.
Bye.